On behalf of the Professional Baseball Strength and Conditioning Coaches Society, I'd like to welcome you to the PBSCCS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Messina. All right, everybody, before we get into this episode with Joe, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, eCore Athletic. As the official flooring partner of the Professional Baseball Strength and Conditioning Coaches Society, eCore Athletic is proud to support the training environments where elite athletes prepare to perform at their best. From Major League to Minor League Baseball, eCore Athletic surfaces are trusted in weight rooms and training facilities across the country, designed to deliver unmatched durability, performance, and safety, all manufactured right here in the USA. Thank you to eCore Athletic, and with that being said, let's get into the episode with Joe.
Any other things that we really like, minor leagues versus major leagues that we haven't talked about, or maybe that like you want to shed some light on for the listeners?
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't think so.
I mean, there's the obvious, right? Like the food's probably better, the
Yeah.
hotels are probably better, like you get your own plane type of deal, like the cities are obviously probably better, like the ballparks are bigger, there's more fans, it's louder, like all of that's kind of like a given, I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we can slide from there then. What do you believe makes a strength and conditioning coach successful, and has your mind changed on what success looks like?
I think it's like the communication and like the relatability piece. Like I've always said that, but like I I have to double down on that here, like with this experience. Like there's so much of a listening component and communicating with players on how they're feeling every single day and what they're going through every single day, because and like we just said, like because they're under a microscope and because their performance and their production on field is their livelihood, right? And now some guys like are in, you know, different situations in that like they have long-term contracts for lots of money, and there's some financial security there, and the pressure, I shouldn't say pressure, but the expectation is that they're living up to their contract. And then there's other guys where it's like they're trying to prove their value in like a potential contract and for the future and in arbitration, and like everything that goes around that, and how they can support their family and how they're looking to, create a better situation for themselves outside of there. Like there's all of those things factor in, and you have to like be able to listen to that and really understand what drives guys and what like stresses guys out. Because I think that all plays into like your ability to interact with them and get them to do what they need to do and get them to do what you need them to do. Um, and showing them where that value is. That's like that's always been there for me as like the most important thing, but it's really been driven home this year because of how like overall like volatile the game is, and um how stressful it is to perform, and you're performing in front of like 40,000 people, and you know winning is the expectation and performing is the expectation. There's a lot. I can't sometimes like I can't even imagine like being in their shoes and having to face those things. So like listening to what they're doing, being accepting of like, hey dude, I've been struggling at the plate, like I know I need to lift, but like I need to figure out my swing right now, and being okay with that, being like, yeah dude, like I hear you, like go get it right. that's where the value is. And that's where like the longer term relationship building is. Like this player, or like the players are like, this coach understands like what keeps me here and what keeps me performing. And obviously there's times when you need to be like, yeah dude, but like if you don't today, like we're putting ourselves at risk for XYZ. um there's going to be times for that, but like giving the space and supporting them in their decision to do whatever, so that like at some point in time when you really need it, like you can drop that in there, is so important to this whole like effort of performance and health and resiliency and development.
Do you think that goes same with the staff too? Like obviously we came up under the belief of like you have to collaborate with other staff, both medical and skill side, baseball side, but like is that magnified in the big leagues? And then actually this isn't something that we talked about big leagues versus minor leagues, but like you have another full-time coach, strength and conditioning coach there with you, where obviously in the minor leagues you had the assistant coming up. Like how has that dynamic changed for you guys as well, communication wise? Like is it the same as when you were in the minor leagues with the baseball staff? Like, yeah, every day we talk schedule, we talk this and that, or is it magnified more there, just making sure like everything stays in order on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I would say like I think overall like there's less of, what would be the right way to put this, like things change less on a day-to-day basis, right? If someone's struggling with something, it's not like miraculously because they lost like overnight like the drastic amount of like hip mobility, right? Hip IR, and now all of a sudden their swing is completely different. Like because the players are so good at like self-evaluating their self, like they they can like manage those things, and it's very like minute details that kind of like stack on top of each other over the course of a couple weeks, where it's like now all of a sudden you see it. But they stay within this bandwidth where it's just more of like, hey, how's he doing? Are you noticing anything like with these guys? And uh no, like he's good, he's just timing's off a little bit, like he'll be all right. Or this guy's like, oh, he's getting a little pushy with his whatever, or like he not holding onto his backside, whatever it is. Like um the conversations still happen, but for the most part like it's just more of like a normal check-in. Who we got? Anyone we're worried about? Okay, this guy, like maybe check his hip, he's struggling with this area a little bit. And it's more of just like your daily kind of check-ins with a couple, a few players. But they're really good at self-evaluating. And a lot of times what I've noticed is, and this is the difference between the big leagues and the minor leagues, like a lot of times the player will bring that to you, like, oh, I feel like I'm like not staying in my hip as long, like can we do something for that? Or I feel like I need to do something for that. And then we support them and collaborate with them on that. And then have a back end discussion with, the hitting or pitching staff on, hey, this is what he said he was feeling. We gave him some of this stuff. Like, are you saying the same thing? Yes, no. Like, if it's a no, like I didn't know, I wasn't seeing that, like, but I'll make note of it to discuss with him next time he throws or next time he's in the cage, like whatever. um Less drastic like intervention overall. Obviously, like once in a while they still happen, but they're so good at staying within their bandwidth and self-evaluating that it doesn't happen as much. Like the interventions are much smaller. But the communication's still there. It just, I would say like sometimes it probably seems like there isn't, just because like everyone's in a pretty good spot.
Gotcha. Yeah, just curious. How about advice for others in the field? Either young coaches that want to follow a path similar to yours, or older coaches that are just trying to stay on top of things.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I was talking about this with Matt, the other strength coach, last night, and I think there's this there's this expectation now, and it's probably like this in every field, regardless, it's probably like this in the business world as well. Like there's this itch and desire to get to the top as fast as you possibly can. And now obviously like we all wanted to get there as fast as we possibly could, but like you don't realize, and I said this to somebody else the other day too. I can't remember what the conversation. I think I was talking about it with one of our minor league coaches actually on the phone. It was like, yeah, every year from like double A on, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like I'm ready. And then the following year I'd be like, oh, I didn't experience that before. Like, and then now I'm ready. And then I would experience something else that's like, oh, I've never experienced that, or I've never like had a player with that issue, or I've never seen something like that. And every year you're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, because you think that you are. And over the course of that like 3, 4, 5 year span, like you've learned so much more that has made you more prepared for your role now. And like I got here and was like, yeah, I'm ready. And like you get kicked in the face sometimes with things I've never seen before. Right. And some things you can do in the minor leagues that like you get up here and you try and you think like, oh, this will be a breeze to like do certain things like this, and then bang, you get kicked in the face with like, yeah, bro, but like I'm not doing that with you today, or yeah, that we're not doing it like that because of this. Um, and you just keep learning along the way. And I think that's, it's a good quality to like want to push yourself and get to the big leagues as fast as you can, right? But like actually understanding that there's a process and that like there's so much stuff like you need to learn along the way. And I think now more than ever, like yeah, our minor league staff, like they know some stuff that, and they've been exposed to things that like I'm reading about and stuff like that, but they're like fluent in it. Like they know how to do it. They know how to assess this thing. They know how to program for XYZ. And like they're really smart. But we, you experience like the soft skills and learning how to navigate people and stuff like through experience and through like just continued exposure to doing it, right? And that changes when you start to work with an older group of people that have like some of their own thoughts. Like you start getting guys from other orgs or older guys that have a little bit of time, or guys that are coming back from a surgery and think that they need to do things a little bit different. Like those are all things and stepping stones along the way that like are incredibly valuable. And not that you can't learn them in the big leagues, because you will learn them, like, but you're just more prepared when that time comes. And I think that's, the message for me is like, in like, accept that there's like always more to learn. And that like the experience is still valuable, right? Like I spent 4 years in high A, as like probably overall like older than like what your average high A strength coach probably was. Like I spent a lot of time there and I was like, I don't want to be here. Like I want to be at a higher level. I want to keep moving up. But like I learned stuff every year along the way, and I got better and I got um more savvy with how I went about things, and it's all valuable experience. So like, patience is an important piece to it, and there's always something you can do to better yourself, to prepare yourself for that next step. And it comes when it comes. Sometimes like that's within your org, sometimes it's in another org, and sometimes like you might recognize that like the skill set that you've created along the way it can serve you in a different career path, not career path, but like in a different, you know, at a different place.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely was like that too. I just wanted to get there as fast as I could, and I think it was just because I wanted to say I was in the big leagues. You know what I mean? And it's like, to me, my worth was like, if I'm a big league strength coach, I'm good. If I'm not a big league strength coach, I'm not good. And it puts like this unnecessary pressure on yourself to like, I have to get there as fast as I can. I have to do this. I have to do this. Like, if you're going to work, the thing is in this field, like you can't retire early, right? So like you're going to work for the next 20 or 30 years of your life. Like if you get there in 5 or 10, like you still got there. You know what I mean? And like, I think the thing that always made me mad, and it happens all the time, is, and I did the same thing, is like, you have people in the big leagues tell you that message, like, be patient, you'll get there when you get there. It's all learning experience. And you're like, I hate this person for saying this because all I want to do is be in the big leagues. And then you get to the big leagues and you're like, actually, I shouldn't have rushed. Like, I should have taken the time to learn these lessons. And then you pass that on to the next generation and they're like, I can't stand this person, I want to get there as fast as I can. Like, it's just this cycle that never really seems to end. But the one thing for me that, like, players can go up at any time, right? Or technically go down at any time. Like, as a strength coach, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, like, if you're at a level, you're going to be there the whole year, right? Like, there's no September. I mean, there is like a 1 week September call up or whatever, but there's no like, hey, you're doing so well in June, you're getting promoted to full time in the big leagues. You know what I mean? So like,
you imagine
might
if it
as
was like that.
Yeah, exactly.
We were
right?
talking about this like 2 weeks ago. Like, imagine if strength coaches got promoted the same way players got promoted.
Yeah, it'd
Up
be
and
crazy.
down. Like,
But you can
hey,
also
this
be
guy didn't
demoted,
lift
right?
today, you're going back to A ball.
But that's what I'm saying is like, 95% of the time, like, you're gonna be at that affiliate for the year. Like, are you upset that you're in the big leagues or not? Like, that's fair, but also like, do the job where you're at really well and like soak into where you are. And like, when the time comes, the time comes. And it's definitely easier said than done. Obviously, everything is better in the big leagues, but there is more pressure that comes with that. There's more travel, all the stuff we already talked about, right? So like, one of the AAA coaches when I was there, I was pissed off that I wasn't in the big leagues, and he told me, be careful what you wish for, because when you go there, it's a whole nother game. And I was like, no, I'm not listening to you. Like, I want to get there as soon as I can. And then I got there and I was like, he was right. It's a whole different ball game up here. It's really, like you said earlier, the pace is much faster. There's more pressure. There's more things going on. There's more moving. There's more media presence, all the stuff we talked about. So I think it's really valuable advice. And then, talking on some of the younger kids, like, they're all becoming really smart with certain things, especially on the tech side. But I feel like they're drifting further away from that person to person communication, soft skill side. And I think people from like our generation and even earlier generations, like, those are skills that took them really far and will always be really valuable. And I think are becoming even more valuable as we get into like this tech era. At some point in time, like, you're gonna have to
That'll be
break
like a
away.
shift, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to break away from the tech and be a regular person. And if you don't know how to do that, like, it's a major detriment to you.
Yeah, there's the science side of our profession is like booming at a rapid pace, but the art side is like getting lost or like passed over just because like there's so much technology and there's so much in the analytical space of like tying this thing to that thing, and we're kind of missing some of that art, or like it's kind of like getting I don't intentionally unintentionally, like it's kind of like taking a little bit more of a back seat right now. And I think that's really going back to like the whole communication and building relationships with the players, like to being like the most important skill. Like, I think we will have no choice but to kind of shift our way back to the art, because that's like how you communicate with individuals, like person to person. And I think there'll be a shift back, right? It's kind of like trades, honestly. Like, you think about how like the job market itself has gone more digital and technology based, and less people do like trade work, and how like, I read articles about how like we need more tradesmen again because like nobody is going into those fields. Like, I think it will shift back. um it's just like we need to learn the lesson along the way of like why it's important for both.
Is that you soft launching your off-season tradesman position? Like, I know, I know you're
Yeah,
very
it's like
handy
I
and
don't.
skilled around the house.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, I think about it like from like more of a personal perspective, like with my kids, is like you know, do they eventually become like a wave, like the generation that like shifts back into more tradesman type things because like that's what the economy needs? Like, do they become like plumbers and electricians because like there's a huge need for that, like when they get to that age? Like, it's interesting. And I think it probably like, I'm not a history buff by any means, but like I think if you look, you probably see like some swings back and forth on those type of things, and that's just kind of the nature of life as a whole, probably.
Mix in the AI, and that's a big curveball. But
Yeah, right. Well, AI is never going to be able to like, change the plumbing in your house. At least like I don't think so. Maybe a robot like at some point in time will, but like Chat GPT is not going to fix it for you. They might tell you how to do it, but if you don't have the skills,
true.
you're going to have a problem.
Yeah. Speaking on learning and kind of continuous, process there, just where are you going for continuing ed resources? You mentioned the book Surrounded by Idiots earlier, but are there any other books you'd recommend, podcasts you're listening to, seminars you're going to? Like, where are you going for your own continuing improvement?
Yeah, I kind of dabble with a little bit of everything, and it just depends on what I'm feeling in the current moment. I mean, have a I do a lot of driving, and obviously we fly a lot. Um, so I bounce between a couple different podcasts. Like I've always done Just Fly. I love the Just Fly podcast. Um, but I've kind of gone towards more like holistic health life type thing. So, the Huberman podcast, I've like really taken to a lot because there's a lot of different, non-strength, but still touching the strength and conditioning performance realm, with a lot of the topics he has. I do the Joe Rogan podcast to, freshen up just more of like an entertainment piece, like an interesting facts that really don't most of the time apply to the profession. And then like really anything, I do a lot of like parenting podcasts and stuff too, things on like brain and neurological development in younger kids, which is really fascinating, honestly. And I do think like there's a lot of ties um back to like the performance field. And then like books are really I like to read books on like psychology, personality, type stuff. I think that helps, and it both helps from like a relationship and understanding how to interact with people differently. And then more like psychology, like self-help kind of books, because it helps kind of like ground ground me, in like more of my personal life. And that's kind of it for now. Anything that really pops up that can help, I kind of dabble in a little bit. I'm still doing like, um, expansion compression model stuff, just learning more about that. And, Connor Harris's course that I feel like I've been taking for like 3 years. Um, that's really it for me. It's very diverse.
It's okay. That's good. Keep it fresh. I have 4 question lightning round, and then I'll get you out of here if you have time before the bus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, long or short as you want. First one, what has been your favorite city or overall trip in the big leagues thus far?
That's a tough one. I have this bias towards Toronto. Like, I love the hotel. I like the location of the hotel, and I really enjoy the stadium. Like, the atmosphere there is cool. Like, as much as I like a good quality outdoor stadium, like most of the time when we go there, the roof's on. But I just like I like the environment there. So that's probably it for me. But there's some others that are close as well. Like 5 others, but We'll go with Toronto.
Toronto's 1-1 on my draft board. Big fan. What has been the coolest moment for you since joining the Major League Club?
Some lightning round. Probably opening day, and oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with like family day. I'm gonna go with family day. I feel like this whole year's been a blur, so like so many different things, but family day was awesome. Just like it was like the first time that I think my kids really kind of like understood like the level of which like my job and my career has kind of like gotten to like them being able to go out on the field, like taking ground balls and like hitting, playing, they were playing like wiffle ball on the field at Fenway, and having some of the players like pitching to them and stuff like that. Like I think they've like started to recognize like how unique that is for somebody their age. And so like that, and then for me too, is like a lot of the sacrifice is like now they get to reap some of the benefits of that. So
Yeah.
that's definitely it.
What is the best meal you've had in the big leagues thus far?
There's a lot of really good ones. I mean, they're all really good. I'm probably gotta go tonight's meal.
The New
Sunday,
York getaway special.
yeah, Sunday in New York. Yeah, that's probably it.
Knowing what you know now, would you change anything about your journey?
No. It's hard to like say yes, because like, you know, it's played out, right? Like it's played out, maybe not exactly how you think it's gonna play out or how you envisioned it playing out, but like kind of like I said earlier, like I've learned a lot of things along the way that has helped me to this point. So I wouldn't. I mean, I think I'm pretty lucky to be in this spot and to share it with like my family, and to have made a lot of like our sacrifices and have my family like be along for the journey and sometimes not be there, but now getting the opportunity and the timing of their ages, I think is great. Like to where they're coming into enjoying and understanding like the the nature of like what I'm doing, and having them like call me in the morning being like, "Hey, you guys won last night. I just watched the highlights. Like we got to get to the playoffs," like in pushing that and being fans and understanding that I'm a part of that is is definitely very, very cool.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. If the listeners want to get in touch, where can we go? Social media the best place, or is there a better spot?
Um, yeah, I mean, like I don't ever post or anything, but you can definitely send me a message if you have questions or anything. Probably Instagram, uh, my social media or my Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. It's more for reading all the shit talking that the media does, honestly. Because like sometimes it's like enjoyable to like hear some takes. um, what is it? My Instagram is Hudson_JR12. Follow me if you want to see like pictures and videos of my kids riding their bike or hitting in the backyard. That's
Yeah,
about
I
all
was
it
saying, or
is.
the
There's no
next home
content.
improvement. Yeah, the next home improvement project that you got
Yeah.
going on.
If you're looking to like educate yourself on things related to the field, I'm not gonna please you in that realm.
That's what the DMs are for, though. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
buddy, it's been awesome to catch up. I always appreciate it. And like I said earlier, I'm really happy for you, for your family, and stay safe, dude. You're almost there. Final home
Yes.
stretch here. Best of luck all the way through.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Talk to you soon, my man.
We'll see ya.
All right, everybody, that's going to conclude part 3 of this 3-part interview with Joe. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't yet, I would recommend checking out the other parts of this interview, as there's a lot of really good information in parts 1 and 2 as well. 3 things that I took from Joe in this part of our interview. Part of becoming successful is the ability to be a good active listener. Finding a balance between staying hungry and being patient will help you to continue to maximize your learning and growth. And understanding technology while maintaining quality soft skills will help you become an elite practitioner. Before we shut this one down, I just want to give one more shout out to our sponsor, eCore Athletic. Thank you for sponsoring this episode with the PBSCCS. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll talk to you on the next one.